beautifuls, and welcome to my channel, Manna Reads. So today, I like to just talk about some webtoons. Um, as I've been enjoying them a lot. I've always enjoyed webtoons, but I think, and I do consider them novels. They're just in toon form, but they're still. I think that they're still valid forms of literature. So I'm going to talk about them because there's some that I really, really that I just really enjoy them, and I have five that I've picked out that I want to talk about in particular because I think everybody should read them, and hopefully I can convince you to read them. um, just because I think they deserve attention. Um, and I just honestly think that it would be fun to talk about my faves, and hopefully you'll comment down below and let me know some recommendations that you have, or you know, and if you like this video and if you want to, maybe do a part two, also let me know in the comments down below so that way, I can, have that in my headspace so I can, do another video for part two. Um, Also, if you like this content, you can check out my other videos. My other Mana Recommends videos are in a playlist, so you can easily find them. And, if just check them out too as well. I would really appreciate that. Give them a like. That would help out the channel a lot. Um, and I'll definitely let you know which ones of the videos. I mean, sorry. Wow, it's been a day. But um, I'll let you know which ones have been completed and which ones are still ongoing, or which ones are in hiatus. So that way, you don't, you don't come and be like, Amanda, I read this webtoon and now there's no more. And I'm like, well, now I will let you know which ones you can binge and then which ones you just want to wait on a little bit, maybe, or you don't care, mind, or you're patient enough to wait. So they're not in any particular order. I was just going through some of the webtoons I was reading at the moment and just decided to pick these five. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So the first one I want to talk about is called The Shape of Sympathy. It's by No Duke. It's a webtoon. Obviously, these are all webtoons. But it's about two people that meet at a wedding. However, they're both there for different people. And so they just kind of bumble around or bumble with each other. Um, so they somehow end up getting involved with each other. I will let you know that this is very angsty. It is on Manta, and it's categorized as a slow burn, so it's not going to be instant gratification. You're going to have to wait. And currently, it's on season two. They do update, I think, on the 17th. I think is the next update. So, if you read it, just so you know that there's going to be another update. Um, but so the story revolves around Sen Woo, who is a very depressed teacher, and Yuri, who's one of his students, his homeroom student. And he's a very apathetic student. Like, he just doesn't care about anything. And, he generally goes through life very, I mean, he's popular, but like he also just doesn't care about anyone or anything. So they kind of start a relationship, but like not really. It's very complicated. Um, and it is kind of a hard read sometimes because the main characters go through a lot, and especially Samu, he goes through a lot of trauma. He's been through a lot of trauma in his life, and so just to be forewarned, like if you've had or if you've gone through childhood trauma before yourself, just letting you know that there is some of that here in the not in the webtoon as well. So just want to be aware, but I the reason why I like it, or the reason why I would recommend this to you, or even suggest, is because it is a good story. Like the art is really, it's good too. Um, so it and it is a little tough to read sometimes because like I said, they go through a lot of different things and they do a lot of different things to each other um, that are kind of questionable. But I don't know. I think I just want them to be happy. Like I think I just need them to like be just find out how to be with each other and be happy. I want them to succeed. I want them to be, you know, I want them to enjoy life. Like that's my favorite wish for this couple. Um, So Manta, it is on Manta. Manta is a subscription service. It is $3.99 a month. That's in U.S. dollars. But they do have a lot of other webtoons, not just BL. So if you are interested, if you do like webtoons, I would definitely subscribe to them. It is, I will let you know this is not the most exhaustive library, but they do have some a couple titles. In fact, so I have two more that are from Manta as well. So they do have some good ones for you. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is called The New Recruit. It's by Mascarito, illustrations by Zek. This is about the main character named Sehun, who's a timid adult. He's graduated, and he gets a job at this ad agency, and he spent most of his whole life having a crush on one person. That was one sided because he never got the courage to kind of confess. So, he just kind of is quiet and does things that you ask him to. He's very much like a puppy. He's just a very sweet person. Um, and so then he starts work as this ad agency, and he meets Mr. Kim, who's his boss basically. And you can imagine what would happen. It's an office romance, so they do. Spoiler alert: they do get together. The reason why I like this is because you know at first, Sehun doesn't stand up for himself. He's afraid of things. He doesn't know about romance. He doesn't know about love. He's never really gone through it. I mean, he's been through like one sided love and that was painful, but like he's never really experienced life because he's always, put his feelings kind of deep down and just doesn't know what to do. Whereas Mr. Kim is like the opposite, right? He's like older, he's more experienced, but he's also, not really that good at expressing his emotions. Like he just doesn't like understand most of the time. He thinks things should be easy and simple. Um, and so they kind of get together, and it's a rocky start, because both have different expectations, both don't really know what to do. But I do like that they talk about it. I do like that they go and they have like communication. It may not be perfect, like no relationship is, but like he's just so cute. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's on my phone, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to show you a picture right now of Sin. If my app wants to work. If it doesn't, then you take my word for it. He's like a cute little puppy. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, it's an experiment. A little bit gone wrong. Which is fine. Okay, so yeah, and he they just kind of go in start a relationship, and it's just and they just kind of bumble through it. They bumble their way through it. It's really cute. It's not a very complicated story. It's an office romance, but um, it's just cute. And sometimes you don't need complicated stories to get through your day. Like you've had a very long, hard day at the office, and you just want to relax and unwind. Then this is perfect. You could just read this. It's a cute read. Nothing too drastic happens, and it's just it's just a nice feel good story. This is on, like I said, this is on Manta. It has been completed. There's 35 chapters, so it's a pretty quick, easy read, actually. So I would definitely check it out, and just it's it's really good. It's really cute. It's really sweet. It's not complicated. It's just sometimes what you need in life, just not complicated rom com. Good times. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is pretty famous. It's been adapted into a live action. It's on Viki. It just actually ended its run. Um, so it was 8 episodes. Semantic Error by Jay Sorry. Illustrations by Engie. So, obviously, it's been very popular in BL spheres. Everyone was going crazy about it. But for those of you that don't know and haven't heard of Semantic Error, it's basically a story about uh, San Woo Chu and Jae Young. San Woo Chu is a programmer. He's kind of, I don't want to say grumpy. I mean, he is grumpy, but he's a very orderly person. He believes in structure. He doesn't like deviating from the path. He's kind of the set in your ways person. He drinks the same kind of coffee every day, like canned coffee. That's the kind of person he is. And Jae Young is not like that. He's the polar opposite. He does what he wants. He doesn't care. He's fun loving. He's just carefree. He's a graphic designer, and he just does whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it, and that's who he is. And so they meet by chance when they're assigned group work, and they Senwoo doesn't include their name, like the what he calls freeloaders, in his group project, and that causes a misunderstanding by Jae Young, and so he starts. At first, he starts like honestly, like he starts bullying him a little bit. I mean, he doesn't do anything like too bad. Like it's just kind of like harassing a little bit. But over time, they kind of get closer. They kind of get closer, and sparks fly. The reason why I like it, it's another kind of simple premise. It's an enemies to like lovers trope, but the thing is that it's done really well. Um, and if you've seen the live adaptation, they're very close. They did a very good job of adapting the manhwa to the screen. Honestly, like I could not imagine anybody else playing Jae Young but Seoham. Seoham, for those of you who don't know or those are not in K-pop land, he was a former member of the K-pop group King K, and Seoham. I'm sorry. Sanwoo was played by Jae-chin. He is a member of Dongzi's. I hope I pronounced that right to any of my K-pop fans out there. Oh, please don't come at me. Anyway, so and he plays Sanwoo, and Seoham plays Jae Young. They both fit their characters really well. The adaptation was really well done. They stayed as faithful to the manhwa as possible with the limited amount of episodes they had. It's just, I love the manhwa. Like, I really do. The manhwa is ongoing. It's also on Manta. So, if you've only seen the live adaptation, I definitely recommend you checking out the manhwa because it's ongoing, so there's updates. So I'm not sure how many chapters or how many seasons it's going to be. Right now it's on season 2 as well. And it just goes into, obviously, it goes into a little bit more detail about the story. But it's just, so if you're going to miss, because honestly, I'm going to miss Seoham and Jae-chan. Like, I am. Because, like, they did such a good job. So I'm just gonna keep reading Semantic Error the manhwa, so that way I don't have to like miss them because now they're just it. Like there's no one else that could play them, so now they're just in my head. So yeah, I definitely recommend you getting reading Semantic Error. If you get nothing else out of my video today, read that because you're not gonna be disappointed. I promise. Um, yeah. So, the other one that I'm going to talk about is also got turned into an adaptation on Cherry Blossoms After Winter by Bamboo. Um, this is available on Tappytoon. It's also Tappytoon does like the system where like you have tickets or something, but it yeah. But anyway, it's been completed, so you can binge it. If you have the tickets or whatever, I don't know. But um, it's also a live adaptation that you can see on Viki. They do one episode per week. It's on Thursdays, so if you want to watch the episode, also do that. And I might talk about this one for a while because this one was my first manhwa I've ever read. Um, and I kind of found it on accident. Like I don't even remember like how I started reading it, but it just holds a special place to my heart because, like I said, this was like the first manhwa I ever read, and I just fell in love with Taesung and Hanmoon and Haeboom because they were so cute, and I just really like the story. But going into that, um, the story is about Haeboom who becomes an orphan at an early age. He becomes an orphan when he's around 8, and Haeboom's mom's friend uh, adopts him. Basically, she like brings him to her house to live. She has her son called Taesung, and so they grow up together, and they're very close when they're young. They do everything together. Taesung really is really fond of Haemoon. Like they're really fond of each other. However, they started getting more distant, and Haemoon doesn't really know why. Like he can't figure it out, like what he did wrong. And so he's always trying to kind of tiptoe around them and around Taesung. Um, but Taesung has a little secret. I don't want to give out too many spoilers because I feel like you should one read the manhwa and also watch the show like at the same time. But anyway, um, so yeah, so they grow up together in childhood, and then they just become distant. Taesung is very taciturn, I would say. Haewoom is just a little ray of sunshine. He's a puppy. Do you notice a theme? Anyway, and so they end up actually going to the same high school together and being in the same class. So that's kind of how they get not back together, but they, kind of exist with each other again. Um, and Himum is like just like I said, he's such a puppy. He really doesn't like feeling like he's a burden, even though everybody else around him tells him that he's not, and he's very well loved by Taesung's mom. A little, maybe sometimes a little bit more than Taesung, but he still feels that guilt of like having to live with them and basically being under their roof, so he doesn't quite feel like he's ever at home. Um, and so he has that kind of issue. Um, but with Taesung, kind of helping him, and him kind of gaining a little bit more confidence, that kind of feeling like eventually like goes away, and they start really catching up together again, and just learning how to like be. Um, it's just so cute. Like it just and the adaptation is also for the most part I only know that the third episode is today, or it's by this time it's already aired. But like I think they're doing such a great job with the adaptation because it's kind of hard when you adapt something that's been loved by a lot of people and it's very popular. There's a lot of pressure to get it right, and so far they're doing a really good job. Like I'm enjoying the series, and just gives me kind of nostalgic feels for my cherry blossoms of winter. Although to be real and to be fair, I was a little miffed that they didn't give Tayson silver hair in the show. But maybe silver hair is a bit of a stretch. I don't know, but I kind of missed that about him. But it's fine. It's a very small complaint that I have. He's playing the character. The actor who's playing Taesung is playing the character really well. So just small, very small complaint about not silver hair. That Cherry Blossoms After Winter is on Viki as well, and that comes out every Thursday. Cherry Blossoms After Winter, the manhwa has been completed, and you can read it on Webtoons. There's some special extra chapters. So if you want to read more, you can. There's some extra chapters in there for you. I as just a nostalgia and just as the fact that it's still really cute, um, I would just read that too, because it's great. And who doesn't like little puppies and big dogs? that's what Taesung is. Taesung is just a big protector dog. He's like a German Shepherd, and Hey Boom is like a pug. um, in my opinion, obviously. Okay, so actually, that's a good question. If you were to assign Taesung and Haeboom to be puppies or to be dogs, what dog would Taesung be, and what dog would be Haeboom? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to read them. I want to read your opinions about what dogs they would be. Okay, so um, the other one that I want to talk about is a little bit more serious. It's kind of like a complete 360 turn from these last two because it's not a campus story. It's called The King's Maker. So there's two volumes of this, but I figured I would start with the first one. So it is by Haga and Kang Ji Young. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering these names, by the way. I'm doing my best, so I apologize. But, hopefully you won't hold that too much against me. But this is the first book in the fantasy series. So it tells the story of Wolfgang, who is technically they're all illegitimate, but he's the fourth prince of the king, Golden Leonard. So he was actually basically in hiding because he really didn't want to be a prince, and he didn't want to, have that. There's just something wrong with the kingdom, like not like all is not right in the kingdom of Denmark, basically. But he's forced to go back for like under really terrible circumstances. He's forced to go back home and forced to live in the palace with his father and his siblings um, that he doesn't get along with. Um, but he meets a dark haired boy named Shin, who, for all intents and purposes, is like a concubine of the king. And he and when he meets Wolfgang, he basically Shin basically decides that this is the person that he's gonna stake his future on. He's going to basically have a coup. Spoiler alert. And so Wolfgang is just naturally rebellious. He's grown outside of the palace. He doesn't like following rules. And so he sees this like dark haired boy who's kind of mysterious. He doesn't know like what his deal is really, but he knows that he has to follow his father around. And so basically, when Shin kind of says, "Hey, like I want you to do this," he just he just goes. He's just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. He doesn't care. So this one is also on Tabitoon. However, it is on hiatus. There is part. So part one is kind of hard to find, but you can find part two, Triple Crown there. That's like the second book. Um, so that's been completed. There's no word. I haven't heard any word about when volume three will come out. Um, so I love this manhwa because it kind of hits all the points that I like. So I love imperial dramas. I love scheming. I love when there's romance involved. I love intrigue. So it just kind of hits all those points for me. And so I really got engrossed in the story, and the art is so beautiful. Like, it's so pretty. Everything is drawn really well. It's just so vivid. The colors, like everything, is just really well done. Um, in my dream kind of land, I would definitely enjoy a live adaptation of this. However, it is somewhat ambitious. I don't think it could be on KBS or TVN. It'd have to be something that Netflix would do because there's a lot of strong things in the novel. Um, so just as a trigger warning as well, there is instances of pedophilia. So I just wanted to warn, if that makes you, well, of course it makes everybody super uncomfortable, or it should. Um, but if you find it a bit more difficult than most, then probably this is not gonna be the one for you. But if you can read past those instances, it's a really great read. It's so engrossing, and you just want to know what's gonna happen next, and you definitely want Shin and Wolfgang to make it work against all their odds, and it's just, I just can't. I could go on forever. I could really like do an entire episode of the Kingsmaker, like just kind of going through the plots and all that stuff. Because I could talk about it for a long time. We're not here for that today. Although, if you would like me to talk about it for a long period of time, let me know in the comments down below, and I might make a video about that. Yes. That is something that can happen. Anyway, but yeah, so just as a heads up, just as a forewarning, I'm gonna trigger. Just if you really really can't, then then I understand, it's understandable. But if you can, if you can find the will to muster through it, um, then it's a really great read. And especially if you like political intrigue stories, and especially if you like imperial stories, it's definitely one of the best ones that I've ever read. So I would definitely try to pick that up. And that's on Tabby too. The next one is called Pirouette into My Heart, also known, depending on where you first read this, it's Pirouette into My Heart on Tapas, and on Flying Lines. It's another app. It's called Salad Days. It's by Hao Lao Shin. They are the publishers. So it tells the story of a farm boy named Shen who's from the country. Well, he's a farm boy. Duh. Um, actually has dreams of becoming a ballerina, like a dancer. And he meets Jinji, who's basically the young master. He's very well off. He lives in the city. But they meet by chance at the youth palace. Like it's like a sports complex. It's like where you sign up for different classes and things like that. So they kind of essentially meet there. And so they immediately kind of hit it off. Shen is very cute. He's very he's a soft spoken, um, but he's not a pushover. He's definitely not a pushover. He's just soft spoken, and he likes doing things for others. He loves dancing, like that's what his dream is. Um, and Jinji is very like, it's also very taciturn. He's warm to one person and one person only. His little swan. That's what he calls Shen. That's what a lot of people call Shen, actually. But it's just, that's his nickname. And so Jinji is actually, while he's well off, and while, yes, he has been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, he actually wants to become a boxer. Like, that's his dream. And so he has a trainer, and he goes to, fight people as you do. Um, so their dreams are really polar opposites of each other. One is very graceful and artistic, and the other one is like very aggressive. But they somehow find a way to be together. Essentially, I mean, it's a very cute coming of age story. So like, it's not like there's not even really any cuddling or handling, but it doesn't matter. It's just a great story. It's just really cute. And so eventually, Shin gets out of the city, and he follows Jinji. Well, yeah, he follows Jinji to the city, and they end up, staying together at Jinji's very large house. But um, it's a pretty simple story. It's very pure. Nothing as of yet has happened. It's still currently ongoing. So that could change, but it's a Donghua, and the writer is from China, so I don't know. But it doesn't really matter, because honestly, it's just a good story. And honestly, Shen is so cute, and the art is so beautiful. Like, especially when there's Shen dancing scenes, it literally looks like the way that they do the colors. It literally like jumps off the page. So if you're looking for something, easy to read, and also just, a bit lighter than any of the other suggestions that I've had on here for you, I would definitely consider that, because it is a good story, and it's just really cute, and you can't beat that, really. And everybody, like, I love Shen's family. They're so supportive, even though they live on a farm. They do everything to support their son. They, work really hard, to get him dance shoes. I don't know. It's just really inspiring, really. Just the fact that he's so determined, that he wants to be a dancer and follow that dream, however long he can. And he gets there, he does it. He's in school. He trains with a very, like, top notch ballet teacher, and he just navigates his way, even though he's not as, forceful as some of the other people, as some of his friends are. He still manages not to be a pushover. He still, stands his ground, and he's still doing the things that he wants to do. So really, I mean, he's kind of like an inspiration, because he's not letting anything hold him back. He's not letting the fact that he's from a rural community and has never been to the city hold him down from anything. I mean, obviously, of course, there's people that talk, in the school, but, he does his best to kind of like say, like, I belong here, because I was scouted and I'm talented. So, I definitely enjoy that. And like I said, if you are looking for something a bit lighter than any of the other suggestions that I have, then this is it. The art style is gorgeous. The story is really cute and simple, and it's just a really good read. Like, it's just a really good read. So I would definitely recommend this one to you if you're looking for something light and not as heavy as the other webtoons that I mentioned on the list. So that was all the webtoons I have for you today. Honestly, like, I could really go on for a long time about webtoons and talk about my different favorites and different genres, and just, what I would recommend to you. But that could be for another day. If you do want me to do a part two and talk about more webtoons and some more of my favorites, definitely let me know in the comments below, so that way I can do another video for part two. Um, I wanted to thank you all for watching this. I hope you liked and if you haven't already done so, please think about subscribing to my channel. That would really mean a lot to me. I do want to do something because I did get 61 subscribers. So I'm very happy and pleased about that. So I want to do a giveaway for you all. So if you like in comments, and if you haven't already subscribed, you can subscribe. You can be entered in it as well. But if you're the first to comment, I will send you a little prize. I did have this ready, but I didn't want to. Hold on, because I have them here. So as you know, as you know, my favorite idol is Fluke Touch. It's in my Twitter handle. But I did have some postcards that I got from an order, but I have extras that I would like to give away. So if you're the first to comment on my video, I will send you a celebration for my 61 subscribers. I will send you these 2 Fluke Touch postcards. So you just have to screenshot or DM me that you've actually watched this. So good luck, everyone who wants to participate. Hopefully you win. I will pick the winner and then notify you. In the U.S., please. I have not figured out international shipping. But once I do, then I could open it up that way. But for now, U.S. only, please. I do apologize for that. But also, just to let you know, I'm doing a special live stream this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm actually going to be streaming Dream Daddy, which is an Otome game. It basically is about you in picking different dads. So that's gonna be fun. I've never played it before, so I just wanted to play it all with you. So do join me for that on Saturday. I hope to see you there. Also, I have a new Patreon page where you can become my patron. If you do become my patron, you do get special perks. So, for example, you get a special shout out in the beginning of the episode where I thank you for being my patron. Also, you get little messages from me, kind of also with book recommendations that you might like. So I'll make a personal list for you, just for you, if you decide to become my patron. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and support me there. The link will be down below. You still can support me with my coffee page. And also use my Amazon affiliate links to buy any of the novels that I talk about on the channel. And yeah, that's about it. So there's going to be a new change on the videos on Thursday. So I have been reading Heaven's Official Blessing, but it is getting quite chunky for me. So I'm going to be kind of switching it up. So instead of doing that, I'm going to be talking about more Danme, because there are more Danme coming. In fact, the bigger news is that Seven Seas has won or has gotten the rights to license Tuha, or Sejin and his husky, stupid husky. Yeah, that one. So that's a pretty big deal. Everyone has been a buzz with that. So definitely look for that. You can pre-order it on Amazon as well. That link will also be in the description. Yes. And let's see. I think that's about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you, if you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and share. That really means a lot to me. And if you can, please support. I need a new chair. But anyway, and I hope you all have a good weekend, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Bye!